Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Glad you could join me again. Today, we're going to be looking at the Harbor Freight October 2025 parking lot sale. Just like I predicted about a month ago or so, something like that. Right after the last parking lot sale, I told you not to worry. There were going to be many more parking lot sales throughout the end of the year. And here we go. This is the one for October. Then you have Black Friday next month, and then you're going to have another parking lot sale in December after that. So if you don't find anything in this parking lot sale that you like, do not worry. You still got two big events coming up, aside from all the other super coupons and stuff like that Harbor Freight puts out on a regular basis. Every week, there's coupons. Maybe there's something you'll find in there. Maybe you can wait for the next two big events that are coming up, because I've heard some people online complaining that this is not a really great parking lot sale. But maybe that's just them. Maybe because it doesn't have what they wanted, but it may have what you're looking for. So that's why we're going to go through this flyer and find out what's in this sale and see if it's something that may appeal to some of you guys out there. Anyway, so if you want to see this parking lot sale, you want to see the flyer, and you don't want to go hunting around for it online, and you don't want to have to go to the store walking uphill both ways in a snowstorm with the wolves nipping at your heels, do not worry, my friends. You can go to my website. There's a domain for you right there. Head on over there. Under the Extras tab, you can find this flyer and all sorts of other stuff for Harbor Freight throughout the entire year. So that way you can see it at your leisure, and you can pick and choose what items you want to pick from in this sale. Anyway, so let's get started and take a look and see what's available in this sale. Now, the sale basically starts on Monday, October 6th. For Inside Track Club members, you get early access. So from the 6th until the 9th, early access for ITC members. After that, starting on Friday, October the 10th through Sunday, October 11th, everyone can get access to the parking lot sale. So the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, is open to everyone out there. Now, coincidentally, on this same week, the 7th and 8th, Amazon is having their Prime Days again, the October Prime Day sale. So if you're not an Inside Track Club member and you can't make it into the Harbor Freight parking lot sale, not to worry. I will have a video for you guys with all sorts of great deals going on Prime Days on Amazon. So you can shop on Amazon during the week, and then you can shop at Harbor Freight on the weekend. And maybe putting it all together, you can get yourself some great deals, save yourself some money, and find some cool stuff for yourself. All right, so there you go. You got Amazon Prime coming up, and you got the Harbor Freight parking lot sale coming up. A lot of great stuff to look forward to. So let's start off taking a look at what are some of the stuff that they have in here. And we start off with the economical things here in the yellow boxes. If you need some metal cutoff wheels, there you go. You can get some 4.5-inch 10-pack metal cutoff wheels for $4.42. Normally $8, so you save yourself a few bucks there. Not too bad if you need a lot of cutoff wheels. Now, I'll tell you, I've used the Harbor Freight cutoff wheels in the past. They're not too bad. They're okay. You may go through them a little bit faster than some of the ones that you're going to find at Lowe's or Home Depot. Those may be a tiny little bit better. But I'll tell you what, you get a 10-pack, that gives you a lot more you can go through, where at Home Depot or Lowe's or something like, you're going to be paying $1.50 per cutoff wheel. Where here, it's 40 cents a cutoff wheel. So you can afford to go through a bunch of them because you're still ahead of the game. And if you're looking for an economical little angle grinder, here you go with the 4.3 amp, 4.5-inch angle grinder from Warrior with a slide switch for $12, normally $15, so you save about $3 there, 20% off, not too bad. Now, I don't know if it's this one because I think they have two of them. I don't know if they have a 4.0 and a 4.3, I forget offhand. But sometimes they'll put one of them for about $9, $9.99, something like that. If it's the same one, well, it's a couple of bucks more. What can you do? You know, prices fluctuate. They go up, they go down, depends on what you do. That's why I say, if you don't see anything you want in here, don't worry. There's going to be more sales. Just wait for the next one. Unless you're in a hurry and you need to buy something, you can always wait later on. That's what I try to do. I try to be a smart shopper, and I wait for the best prices instead of just running out and grabbing stuff. Anyway, so how about if you need some work gloves, some performance work gloves from Hardy, you can get these guys for $3, normally $6.50, so it's about half price. And I'll tell you, I've used some Hardy gloves and I have not liked them. Some of you guys maybe have had better experience, but I find the nitrile material on the palm of it to be really bad. It gets hard and brittle, and then you can't even wear the gloves after that, so I wind up throwing them away. So I kind of stopped buying those a little while ago. That's just my personal experience. If you've had better experience, then, you can chime in down below if you want to. And here you go. If you want some step drills, here's a 2-pack where you get the thin one and the really thicker one for about $10, which again is not too bad. Normally it's $19, but most of the time When they put these guys on sale, they put them for about 13 bucks. So 10 bucks is a good price to get them if that's what you're interested in. And here you go with the 1/2 inch drive impact deep socket set, a 13-piece set in SAE or metric. These guys are from Pittsburgh, and you can get these guys for 20 bucks during the sale, which is not too bad. I mean, my goodness, they've gone up to 32 bucks. They used to be 20 something dollars, now 32. They've gotten really pricey. So that's a good price to get it on sale right there. That used to be the normal sale price. Sometimes maybe now it won't go that far. So 20 bucks, I would say that's a good one to get it at. I bought this set many, many years ago and I still have it. Not a bad set. Now, here's the big items here that where you're going to save yourself the most money if it's something that you're interested in. You can get 20% off all US General carts and cabinets, which some people maybe they don't like it. Maybe they think it's not a good enough of a discount. Because I know some people were looking for like the big Bauer discounts and the big Hercules discounts. Well, those aren't in this sale. They don't put them in every single sale, but you can still take advantage of some other stuff. I mean, you have some Bauer stuff right there. Maybe not the ones those other people are looking for. Some people tend to be very negative in this world. I tend to try to look on the bright side. It makes life all that much more tolerable. But if you're looking for some US General carts and cabinets, 20% off, that is a pretty good saving because you're talking hundreds of dollars here. So you're going to get some big savings on that. So I would say now is a good deal to take advantage of that. The only other time would be to wait for like a non-exclusion coupon or something like that, because this at least leaves you wide open to pick any cart or any cabinet that you like. A lot of times when they put them on sale, it's a specific cart or a specific cabinet, which may not be the one that you're interested in. So this way you can pick the one you want if it's one that may not go on sale very often. So there you go with that. Now, how about if you want some Bauer tools? Here you go with 25% off all Bauer corded power tools. Now, I understand why some people might say that they didn't like this because it's the corded tools. And I know a lot of people like the cordless tools. I know cordless can be very, very convenient, very easy to use. Just pop a battery in and you can go anywhere you like. But man, they can be so frustrating when the batteries just don't hold a charge and you got to buy new batteries and it becomes a continuous expense. So the corded ones, even though you have to hassle with a cord, it is cheaper in the long run and they are much more reliable when you need to do something because they always turn on and they always run, unlike the batteries. So if you want some Bauer corded tools, you can save yourself 25% right now during the sale. Now, something that's obviously not as sexy as some other tools out there, but what if you need some pliers or screwdrivers? Well, here you go. You can get yourself some pliers or screwdrivers, 35% off, whether it's Bremen, Doyle, Icon, Quinn, Pittsburgh, pretty much every single one that they carry, except the bolt cutters. You cannot get those guys. For whatever reason, they don't want to give you the bolt cutters. So any kind of pliers, plier set, screwdriver set, whether you want to get it by itself, in a set, whatever you want to do, like I said, it's not one of the sexiest tools out there, but it is something you use all the time. I mean, pliers and screwdrivers, you use them almost every day for almost every kind of project out there. So 35% off, that'll save you some good money on that. Now, 50% off some batteries. Here you go with the Thunderbolt batteries, the Blue Edge batteries. You can save yourself 50%. That's a pretty good discount. They are already fairly cheap when you compare it to Rayovac or any of the other batteries out there. So 50% off makes it even cheaper. Excludes the Thunderbolt solar batteries. But all the other batteries, you can take advantage of saving some money. All right, now let's take a look at some of the other stuff that they have in this sale. How about if you're looking for a winch? Here you go with the Badlands ZXR 12,000 pound capacity truck SUV winch with a wire rope. You can get this guy for 280 bucks during the sale, which is 70 bucks off the normal price of 350, which is a pretty good discount. And whenever you see the prices in this red bubble, that generally means the best prices so far this year. So that's a pretty good price right there. And how about if you need to do a bunch of hole digging for fixing some fences and stuff, or you got a bunch of trees with some big root balls you got to plant and so forth, and you don't want to be doing a lot of digging by hand. Well, I can tell you, these guys are pretty useful. The Predator gas-powered earth auger. You can get this guy for 175 bucks during the sale, normally 225. So that's 50 bucks you save, which is not too bad because this guy was actually on coupon. I think it's actually on coupon right now at the making of this video, but it's 179. So this is actually cheaper than the current super coupon. So don't get it right now, or if you did, take it back or wait until this sale and then try to get them to give you the extra money back. But if you're looking at getting this guy, don't get it now with the super coupon. Wait until the sale and you can save yourself even more money. And I'll tell you, I haven't tested this guy. I looked at it at the store. I got one from Vevor instead, which is identical to this guy. The same motor, same CC capacity, same design, same everything. The only reason I got the one from Vevor is that it had a longer warranty and it brought 2 augers, where this one only brings 1. But I'll tell you, man, those things are a beast. If you need to dig a lot of holes and you don't want to break your back, get yourself one of these guys. It'll pay for itself in your first project because you will zip through those holes. And one day, let's say, you can dig 5 holes manually. This guy will dig 5 holes in 15, 20 minutes. So that is how much of a time saver you're going to get using one of these guys. So I can definitely recommend having one of these earth augers. They do save you a lot of time and backache. And how about if you want to do some welding? Here you go with the Vulcan OmniPro 220 Industrial Multi-Process Welder with 120 and 240 volt input. You can get this guy for $850, normally $1,100, so that's 250 bucks you save. Not too bad if you're looking for a nice welder. And how about if you need a big jack from Pittsburgh, the 3-ton low-profile floor jack with a rapid pump. You can get this guy for $100, normally $170, so you save yourself $70. I mean, a 3-ton jack for $100, that is a really good deal in this day and age that we're living in. And how about if you're looking for a paint sprayer? Got to do some paint spraying? You can still do some spraying and painting and fixing up before the summer's over. You can still take care of this with the Avanti Airless Paint Primer and Stain Sprayer. You can get this guy for $200 during the sale, normally $250, so you save yourself $50. Or if you need a generator, the Predator 5,000 watt dual fuel super quiet inverter generator with a remote start. You can get this guy for $800, normally $1,100, so that's $300 you save yourself. And before we get too far into this video, how about you do me a great big favor and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already? That way you stay informed every time I make one of these money-saving videos for Harbor Freight, Home Depot, Amazon, Lowe's, or any other great place that I can find to save you guys some money. Saving money, that's what we're all about here. So that's the way I keep you guys informed and I keep more money in your wallet. Thanks for doing that, and let's move along. And if you want to do a little bit of camping and stuff like that, or even for emergency use, you can get the 500 lumens compact pop-up lantern. I have a couple of these guys, a different manufacturer, but I still have this same identical design. And they're really cool for a little, for like I said, camping, power outages, all that stuff. And it's really cheap, only $3.29, normally $5, so you save yourself a couple of bucks there. You can get 3 for under $10. Hey, there you go. They make it even easier for you. Or how about if you need a moving blanket, 72 by 80 inch moving blanket? You can get these guys for $5, normally $9, save a couple of bucks there. Or the battery operated liquid transfer pump, you can get this guy for $7, normally $13.50, again, almost about half price. Or if you need a little dolly to move things around, the 30 inch by 18 inch 1,000 pound capacity hardwood dolly, you can get this guy for $13, normally $18, save yourself a few bucks there. Or if you need a set of wrenches, how about the fully polished combination wrench set, a 14-piece set in SAE or metric, and these guys are from Pittsburgh. I don't know why they don't label it, but it's from Pittsburgh. During the sale, you can get these guys for $18, normally $25, so that's about $6, $7 you save. And let's see these guys right here. How about if you need some drill bits? In this case, the titanium drill bit set, 29 piece for $12. I would not recommend them. I tried these guys a while back, and they were dull. Right out of the box, they were dull. They would not drill anything. I had to take them straight back to the store. Normally $20, so you save a couple of bucks, but I still don't recommend them. And if you want yourself a little inexpensive digital multimeter, the 7-function digital multimeter, the little red guy, you can get that guy for about $5, normally $8, so a couple of bucks you save. Again, I've tested some of these guys because I got them when they were freebies. They're okay for the beginner, maybe, but personally, I wouldn't really recommend them if you want a good meter. because I have found that they fluctuate too much on the readings. I think they have another one for like $8-10. I'd say spend the extra money, get a little bit better one. These are not really all that great. You're going to get some erratic readings out of them. And the Super Glue 3-pack for 96 cents, normally $2, so that's half price. Again, I've heard some people say they're not very good. I've never tried it, but some people say it's not really a very good glue. It doesn't hold very well, takes a long time to dry, all the typical complications. And how about if you need some nitrile gloves? Well, here you go with the 7mm nitrile gloves, a 50-pack in orange or blue. You can get these guys for $7, normally $14, so that's half price. Or the 9mm nitrile powder-free gloves, another 50-pack for $8, normally $17. So again, half price for those guys. So stock up now that they're cheap instead of waiting until they're much more expensive. And how about if you need another Predator generator, the 4550-watt open frame inverter generator with CO Secure technology. And you should always run these guys outdoors, people, okay? I don't know why I should have to mention that, but never run these guys inside your house. Always put them outside. This is burning gasoline or whatever fuel it happens to be running. Never run it inside or you're going to asphyxiate yourself. Don't do it. Anyway, put it outside and run the cord inside, or hook it up to your electrical panel if you know how to do that. Don't do it if you don't know how to do that. It's not that easy. Again, you could hurt yourself. You can burn your house down. Consult a technician that knows what they're doing if you intend to do something like that. But here you go. If you want to have this guy, it's $580 on sale. Normally $680, so that's $100 you save. Or if you want some solar panels, here you go with the 100-watt super lightweight foldable solar panel. It folds up to be like a briefcase. You can get these guys for $115, normally $130, so that's $15 you save. Here is a little portable generator that you can take around for camping or something like that. The 2500-watt super quiet inverter generator, again with CO Secure technology, which you should not be running it indoors or in a tent or any of that anyway. But here you go, $500 for this guy during the sale, $630 normally, so that's $130 you save. How about if you need a TV wall mount from Armstrong, the 37-inch to 80-inch full motion TV wall mount for $30, normally $40, save yourself about $10 right there. Or how about a chipper shredder, 6.5 horsepower chipper shredder for $480, normally $600, so you save yourself $120. You know, it's okay. It's not the biggest or baddest or strongest in the world. I think it'll take up to like 1-inch branches, so nothing really massive to put into it. But if you wanted to, put in some small branches, leaves, all that kind of stuff, turn it into mulch, it'll do the job for that. And how about if you want to do some steam cleaning of your vehicle or something else? The 1200-watt handheld steam cleaner from Grants. You can get this guy for only $20, which is not too bad. Normally $40, so that's half price right there. Or if you want to do some trimming of branches and stuff like that and be on the ground and not have to be up high on a ladder or climbing up on the tree, here you go with the 6.5 amp 9.5 inch electric pole saw. I have one of these guys. I've had it for about 6-7 years now. Works out really good. It really cuts through everything I use it for. You can get this guy for $50 on sale, normally $60, save yourself about $10. Or from Portland, you can get yourself the 42cc 18-inch gas-powered chainsaw, which is a rebranded Poulan Pro. So if you find a Poulan Pro cheaper than this guy, grab that one instead. It's the same identical machine. But you can get this guy for $150 on sale, normally $185, so that's $35 you save. And if you need a pressure washer, here you go with the 1750 PSI 1.3 gallon per minute corded electric pressure washer. You can get this guy on sale for $70, normally $90, so that's about $20 you save. I have seen this guy go down a little cheaper than that, so it's not the best price this entire year, but if you want it, there you go, you can get it. And how about if you need yourself a little trailer? From Haulmaster, the 10 cubic foot max little trailer cart. You can get this guy for $110, normally $150, that's $40 you save. And if you need a parts cleaner, here you go from Central Machinery, the 6-liter ultrasonic parts cleaner. You can get this guy for $140 on sale, normally 180, so you save yourself 40 bucks. And if you have a lot of dirty, grungy, whether it's mechanical parts or even plastic parts or whatever the heck it happens to be, these guys do a great job at cleaning stuff. It really breaks apart all the grungy stuff that's on it, and then you take it out and just clean it off that much easier instead of really having to do a lot of scrubbing, because it really gets underneath it and breaks it up so that it just falls right off. So very convenient to have one of these guys on hand. And what if you need a hand truck? From Franklin, the 700-pound capacity hand truck, you can get this guy for 50 bucks, normally 60, so you save yourself about 10 bucks. And if you need an extension cord, Christmas is right around the corner, all the holidays, whether it's Christmas or Halloween or everything else. If you want to put some stuff outside and have it all lit up, here you go with the Vanguard 100-foot 12 3-gauge outdoor extension cord. You can get this guy for 55 bucks, normally 70. Save yourself a few bucks there. And some more little inexpensive stuff in the yellow box. Here you go with the Apache 2800 weatherproof protective case, the medium one. Comes in 3 colors, black, tan, or orange. I mean, if you really want to stand out, that orange really makes you stand out. But there you go. You can get this guy for 20 bucks, normally 30. Save yourself about 10 bucks. And if you need a big reflective tarp, the 11 by 19 heavy duty weather resistant tarp, you can get this guy for 17 bucks, normally 23. Save a couple of bucks there. Or how about the 16-ounce steel nailing hammer? I mean, what else is there? Steel and fiberglass, that's all you have, though. So the only 2 choices, but the head always has to be steel. But there you go, 17 bucks for this guy, normally 20, so you save yourself about 3 bucks. And if you want some shop towels, the 14 by 13 shop towels 50 pack in red or white. I always recommend the white. It is so much easier to clean stuff in white because you can see what you're cleaning up and there's no dye to get in the way of anything. So the white ones are always a smarter choice. You can get this guy for 8 bucks, normally 14. Save a few bucks there. Or if you do a lot of standing, you should really look into getting yourself an anti-fatigue foam mat. A set of 4, a 4-pack. You can get this guy for 8 bucks, normally 10, save a couple of bucks. That'll save your ankles, your knees, your back, all sorts of stuff. So really look into that if you do a lot of standing. And how about if you need a solid rubber wheel chuck? There you go. You don't want your vehicle, your trailer, whatever to roll back. There you go. You can get this guy for about 5 bucks, normally 8, save a couple of bucks. Or if you want an inexpensive American flag, you can get the 3x5 American flag with embroidered stars. You can get this guy for 5 bucks, normally 10, so that's half price. Not available in Minnesota because this guy is made in China, and in Minnesota, they only allow flags made in the US of A. And how about some magnetic glove tissue dispensers from US General? You can get this guy now available in 8 colors: blue, green, yellow, orange, white, black, red, or gray. You can get this guy for 10 bucks, normally 15. Save yourself about 5 bucks. Or the hex shank socket driver set, a 3-piece set for $188, normally 5 bucks. Save yourself 62%. And this one, I always say, guys, grab it when you see it like this for under 2 bucks. Grab it. These guys are really, really great for all sorts of stuff. I've had a set of these guys. These are from Warrior. I've had a set of these guys for like 4 or 5 years now. I've used them for all sorts of stuff. I've tortured the heck out of them, and they still keep working. So really, for under 2 bucks, it is a bargain. And I can tell you, they are solid. They haven't twisted, they haven't bent, they haven't broken, they haven't done anything. They still keep cranking. Same as these little guys right here, the mini pick and hook set for 99 cents. Normally 2 bucks, so that's half price. I know some people are going to criticize this and say, oh, they're just a crappy little, cheap little pick set. Get some better ones. You can have some better ones. I have some better ones, but I have these guys too because they are so tiny. They're really good for getting into really small places. You don't need to have the biggest, baddest of everything every time. Sometimes you want something really small and compact, and that's what these guys are good at. Yeah, they're not the best. They're not the strongest. They're not going to last forever, but it's only $1. You can get more when you break it. But if you need to get into some really small orifice, get some little O-rings or something, or pick at something that you need to just get it out of, it really comes in handy because they're so small. So I would say even if you have some good picks, have one of these on hand. You're going to appreciate it when you need them. And how about some automotive stuff here? Here you go if you need some Daytona 3-ton heavy-duty ratchety jack stands. You can get these guys for 30% off right now. That's not bad. You need some heavy-duty jack stands, save yourself the money during the sale. Available in 8 colors: blue, yellow, orange, green, gray, purple, orange, and black. Very convenient for doing all sorts of automotive work. And how about if you want a Daytona jack? And this time I guess there's only one Daytona jack that they put on sale. Here you go with the 4-ton professional floor jack with rapid pump from Daytona. Comes in 4 colors: blue, orange, black, or green. You can get this guy for $170, normally $270, so you save yourself $100. That's not too bad. Or for you Icon guys, here you go if you're looking for an automotive scanner, the Icon T8 Professional Intelligent Diagnostic Scanner for $800, normally $900, save yourself $100. Now, the one thing I'll point out, guys, it's a scanner just like every other scanner. I forget offhand who makes it for them, but one thing I'm going to say is that it's a very expensive scanner. It's an $800 scanner and only has 1-year warranty. That's it. I mean, that is not that great. I mean, I've reviewed a lot of scanners over the years, and most of the time when I get a scanner to review for you guys, I get one that has 2, 3, or 4 years of warranty. 1 year or less, it's just not worth it in my book, so I won't even review those kind of scanners. But if you're interested in comparable scanners that have all the features that this guy has, maybe more, and one of the things also, it says 1-year warranty. It doesn't mention that it also only has 1 year on the updates. It only comes with 1 year. After that, you got to pay for all the updates. Again, when I get you comparable scanners from name brands out there, I try to find some that have 2, 3, 4, or even lifetime updates. So that's something you may want to consider because $800 is only to get you in the door. You're going to have to keep paying every single year for updates after that. So bear that in mind when you look at a scanner. That's one of the things I try to keep in mind when I do reviews on scanners to try to save you guys money in the long run. If you want to spend $800 on the scanner, fine. It's good to have a good scanner. It really comes in handy. But try to save yourself money in the long run by getting a lot of updates right up front or lifetime. Those are the best ones right there. But check out my playlist. I have a bunch of scanners you can pick from, and that way you can see which one is the right one for you. And I'll put up that link in the corner so you can go check that out. And how about if you're looking for a multi-spline screw extractor set? A set of 25, you can get this guy from Icon for $48, normally $70, so that's about $20 you save on that guy, also with a lifetime warranty. And some more jacks down here. Here you go. If you want a 2-ton low-profile aluminum racing floor jack with rapid pump, you can get this guy for $130 right now, normally $200, save yourself about $70. Or another one from Pittsburgh, the 2-ton low-profile floor jack with rapid pump. You can get this guy for $90, normally $140, so that's $50 you save. $90 is pretty good. It is only a 2-ton, but most of the vehicles out there are going to be around 2-ton or so. Or, very few are going to be above that unless you get a truck, big SUV, something like that. If you don't need a fancy, expensive 3 or 4-ton, a 2-ton will do the job. I mean, I did repairs on many vehicles for many years, and I think I only had like 1.5 tons, something like that. And that did for me just fine until I decided to get bigger ones later on. But it all depends what your budget can afford. And this guy right here, I'm going to tell you the 2-ton compact trolley jack, $30 for this guy, normally 50, 40% off. Don't even get this. Do not even get a trolley jack. Has nothing to do with Harbor Freight, has nothing to do with Pittsburgh. I despise trolley jacks of all names, brands, shapes, sizes, whatever. Trolley jacks are the most dangerous things out there because they're just not stable. You see how the floor jacks are wider and lower to the ground? These guys are too high up and too narrow. Remember how the old Explorers and stuff like that used to tip over because they had a high center of gravity? This is the same exact problem with these guys. A very high center of gravity. You can have a car lifted up and it'll start shaking from side to side. It'd be very, very dangerous. It could even tip over. So trust me, I got one of these when I was a young guy starting out, and it was so rickety and shaky and stuff, I took it back and I never went back. I spent more money and I got a floor jack. It is so much safer. You can take a floor jack and you can shake the car and it will not fall off. I mean, you could literally push a car and roll it if you don't have dollies using a floor jack. I'm not saying to do that, but I'm saying you could do that, and it's that stable that it will not fall off. On this guy, you try to move a car, you try to shake it, it'll fall right over. So do not get one. They're not stable, not safe at all. Now, how about if you need a shop crane? The 1-ton capacity foldable shop crane, you can get this guy again from Pittsburgh for $230, normally $270, so you save yourself $40. Or if you need yourself a little tire inflator, the 12 volt, 120 volt dual power 120 psi tire inflator with LED light, you can get this guy for 35 bucks, normally 45, so you save yourself 10 bucks. And how about from Centec? You can get yourself this 2, 10, 40, and 200 amp 6 and 12 volt automatic battery charger with engine jump starter. Now this is a big boy right there. You can get this guy for 140 bucks, normally 160, so that's 20 bucks you save. Or from Maddox, if you're looking at a ball joint service kit for 2 and 4-wheel drive vehicles, you can get this guy for 55 bucks, normally 90. Save yourself a few bucks there. And you know what? I'm going to have to be using one of these guys soon. I've never done it before, but I actually have to replace the ball joints on my truck. And one thing I'll point out is that if you want to have one of these sets on hand, go right ahead and buy it. But if you don't want to spend the money on it because it's not something you use every day, you can rent these guys literally for free from your local auto parts stores. Because what you do is you buy it, and then when you're done, you take it back and they'll give you a full refund. So that's what they call a free rental right there. They take the payment kind of like a deposit, so that way if you don't bring it back, they don't lose anything. But once you bring it back, they'll gladly give you your money back, so you get to use the tool for free. So there you go. That's what I intend to try. If it's too crappy and it doesn't work out, I may wind up having to buy one of these guys, but I'll try to give that a shot first, and I'll let you guys know how that works out. And here you go from Viking. Here you go if you need a 2,000 watt peak amp lithium ion jump starter and power bank. You can get this guy for 100 bucks, normally 140. Save yourself 40 bucks. Or a 4 amp fully automatic microprocessor controlled battery charger and maintainer. You can get this guy for 30 bucks, normally 40. Save yourself about 10 bucks there. Or some more little doodads to have around the house for when you need to use them. Here you go with the 60-foot by 3/4 inch industrial grade electrical tape, a 10-pack. You can get this guy for 5 bucks. That's 50 cents a roll, which is pretty economical because whenever I look at these at Home Depot, they're like $1.50, $2 a roll. So 5 bucks versus 7, save yourself some money there. And I normally get these guys whenever I run out, I get myself another 10-pack. Why? Because I like to stock up on things. I don't like having to run to the store. Some people run to the store for everything they need, every project. Me, personally, I like to stock up. I like to have everything on hand. That way, when I start a project, I can just go into my cupboards, pull out what I need, and use it instead of, oh no, I don't have it. I have to go to the store now and interrupt my process. No, I don't like doing that. It's really a pain in the backside. But here you go. How about if you need some fiberglass hammers? And again, it's fiberglass handle. The head is still steel, just like I mentioned previously. 16-ounce fiberglass hammers for 4 bucks, normally 7. Save yourself a couple of bucks there. Or if you need a jumbo bike utility hook, you can get it for 99 cents, normally 2 bucks. Save yourself $1 right there. Or some high-performance UV safety glasses so you can look nice and cool at your job site in clear or smoke. You can get it for 3 bucks, normally 5. Save a couple of bucks. Or an 18-inch telescoping magnet, really convenient for when you drop little screws and nuts and stuff like that in your engine bay. You can get this guy for 2 bucks, normally 4. Save yourself a couple of bucks, half price right there. And in the old days, when you used to drop something in your engine bay, all you had to do was look under the car and you'd see it down there if it dropped all the way through. Now most cars are so covered up that the cover underneath it doesn't let it drop out. So either you use this magnet or you have to take off the entire cover underneath it just to be able to get back whatever nut, screw, tool, whatever it is that you dropped, because they're so covered up these days. So there you go. And here's another little dolly for you. The 18-inch by 12-inch 1,000-pound capacity hardwood dolly. You can get this guy for about 8 bucks, normally 13. Save a few bucks there. Or a magnesium fire starter. You can get this guy for $1.09. Normally $1.69, save yourself a whopping 60 cents. Or how about a 450 lumens rechargeable pen light? You can get this guy for 14 bucks, normally 23, save yourself about 10 bucks right there. Or the 115 lumens wall mount solar security lights, comes in either black or white. You can get these guys for 8 bucks, normally 13. There you go, save a few bucks there. And these guys are only 115 lumens. They're kind of like moonlight, if you need an example. They're not very bright. They're not going to scare away intruders. It's just so you can see where you're going and you don't trip over yourself. That's about all they're good for. And how about if you need an assorted length elastic stretchy cord, a 12-piece set? You can get these guys for $4.38, normally 7 bucks. Save a couple of bucks there. And some more stuff from Badlands. The Badlands 12,000-pound winch with synthetic rope and wireless remote, the Apex. You can get this guy for 500 bucks, normally 600, so you save yourself 100 bucks. Or how about the 5,000 pound capacity UTV Power Sport winch with automatic load holding brake? You can get this guy for 150, normally 180, save yourself 30 bucks. Or the 2,500 pound ATV utility winch with wire rope and wireless remote control. This guy will get you out of a pinch if you ever get stuck or something. Here you go, 70 bucks for that guy, normally 80. Save yourself about 10 bucks there. And if you need some trailer lights from Kenway, the 12-volt LED trailer light kit, you can get this guy for 28 bucks, normally 40. Save yourself about 10 bucks there. Or this big off-road jack, the Badlands 1.5 ton off-road jack with rapid pump and precise descent control. Sounds like some kind of rocket or something like that. Precise descent control. It just means it'll go down softly and smoothly, I guess. That's pretty much all it means. There you go, 240 bucks for that guy, normally 280. Save yourself 40 bucks. And one thing I always point out, guys, at the parking lot sale, they're always going to have a liquidation sale, which basically means that you can go inside the store, because you can't do this online, inside the store, and you can find hundreds of open box, as is, discontinued, closeout, factory reconditioned, scratch and dent stuff. Maybe you can find something to get some parts for something else that you need fixing, because Harbor Freight doesn't sell parts for all their stuff. For some things they do, but not everything. So sometimes maybe you may want to buy a donor tool to fix the one that you have, if you like it that much and you want to fix it and keep it going. So you can get anything in there for up to 73% off. So you may want to check that out if you're in the store. And let's look at some welding stuff. Here we start off with the inexpensive Chicago Electric Flux 125 welder. You can get it for 90 bucks, which is about the lowest this guy ever goes down to. Most of the time it'll go down to like around 99 bucks, so 89 is really a good price. Normally 120, so you save yourself 30 bucks. How about if you need a 100-pound capacity welding cart? Well, you can get this guy for 35 bucks, normally 50. Save yourself 15 bucks on that guy. How about some welding helmets? Here you go from Vulcan, the 10.1-inch arc safe auto darkening welding helmet. You can get this guy for 98 bucks, normally 140. Save yourself 42 bucks. Or Chicago Electric, the standard auto darkening welding helmet. You can get this guy for 30 bucks, normally 40. So save yourself about 10 bucks on that guy. Or here you go if you want to get one from Titanium, nice and green to match all your equipment. The 9.3 square inch auto darkening welding helmet for 75 bucks. Normally 100, save yourself $25. Or here we go with some titanium equipment. The unlimited 140 professional multi-process welder with 120 volt input. You can get this guy for 450 bucks, normally 600, save yourself 150 bucks. Or the Easy Flux 125 amp welder. Here you go. This guy is 120 during the sale, normally 150. Save yourself 30 bucks. And that's one thing to consider if you want to go with a decent quality titanium one, or you want to go with the cheapy one. I mean, this one, the Chicago Electric, is going to be their cheapest one, and it's still a Flux 125. It's the same thing, the same basic capacity. But for an extra few bucks, you should hopefully get a little bit better controls, a little bit better quality, that kind of thing. So it's up to you how serious you are about getting into welding. Generally, I would say this is for people that are generally starting out and you want to see exactly how it goes, or people that are on a really tight budget and you don't want to spend 500 bucks. So that's perfectly understandable. So how about if you need a modular welding table with welding fit-up kit? There you go. This 36 by 24 table is 160 bucks on sale, normally 190, so you save yourself 30 bucks. And how about if you need some welding wire? You can get this guy from Vulcan for 15 bucks, normally 25, save about 10 bucks there. Or a wire wheel cup brush set. You can get this set for 4 bucks, normally 6, save a couple of bucks there. Or the 4-inch drill press vise for 17 bucks, normally 20, save about 3 bucks there. I have this guy, it's not too bad, it does the job. And how about if you need some 1/4-inch cargo D-ring anchor, a 2-pack, you can get it for 2 bucks, normally 3, save yourself $1. Or if you want some other safety glasses, you can get these guys for $1, and clear, smoked, or yellow. $1 on sale, normally 2 bucks, that's half price right there. Or how about some accessories for your air compressor, the Air Tool accessory kit, 17-piece set for $6.70, normally 11 bucks, so you save yourself about 3 bucks there. Or the 20-ounce HVLP gravity feed air spray gun for $9, normally 17 bucks, which is pretty economical. I mean, $9 is really, really cheap. But one thing to keep in mind, guys, I believe this guy only works with water-based latex paint. I believe the last time I read up on it, it said you cannot use lacquers, oil-based paint, stuff like that. So bear that in mind. You can't use anything. I don't know if it gums it up internally. I don't know if it melts the cup. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just going by what it said on their website. I think it only works with water-based paint. So look into that before you decide to jump on that guy if it's something you're interested in. And how about some canvas drop cloth, a 4 foot by 12 foot for $7. Normally 9, save a couple of bucks there. Or some 3-inch rubber light duty swivel casters with a brake for $4, normally 6, so you save a couple of bucks there. Or the 25 foot by 1 inch quick find tape measure with ABS casing for $2, normally 5, that's 60% off right there, pretty economical. And how about looking at some compressors? You need to power up your air tools. Here we go. How about the Fortress 27-gallon, 200 psi high performance oil-free vertical shop auto air compressor? That's a big boy right there. You can get this guy for $350 on sale, normally $400, so you save yourself $50. Or how about if you want a little smaller ones? How about the 10-gallon 175 psi ultra quiet oil-free horizontal shop auto air compressor? You can get this guy for $250, normally $290, so you save yourself $40. Or one that is easier to carry around, the 2-gallon 135 psi ultra quiet oil-free hand carry job site air compressor. You can get this guy for $170, normally $190, so you save yourself $20. Now, this guy here, the big guy, is really good for all sorts of tools. It has plenty of capacity and plenty of PSI, etc. This guy here will be somewhere in the mid-range. It'll handle all sorts of stuff. It's only 10 gallons. You may be running out of air if you're using things that consume a lot of air. And this guy is only for like nailers and stuff like that, not really like spray guns or angle grinders or any of that stuff, because you're going to run out of air really, really fast. So these guys are only convenient for like air nailers. So keep that in mind. Now, how about if you want some less expensive ones? Here you go from McGraw, a 21-gallon 175 psi oil-free vertical shop auto air compressor. You can get this guy for $250, normally $280, so you save yourself $30. So there you go. If you really can't afford $350, you can save yourself $100 and go with the McGraw instead. Or if you want some smaller ones, here you go with the 3-gallon 110 psi oil-free light-duty air compressors. You can get a hot dog or pancake for only $55, normally $70, so you save yourself a few bucks there. Again, if you can't afford $170 on this guy, you can get a little bit bigger one, a 3-gallon versus a 2, and it is half the price at least. So you save yourself some money going with the McGraws. Again, it all depends what your requirements are and what your budget is, so you got some stuff to compare there. And some air tools here. Well, this one is actually battery, but these are air. There you go with the Bauer 20-volt cordless 18-gauge brad nailer, tool only, for $80. Normally $100, so you save yourself about $20. So it's tool only. If you're not in the Bauer family, you're going to need to buy the battery and the charger separately. So keep in mind, that's going to be like maybe another $50 or $60 for the two of them. That's assuming you go with a small 1.5 amp hour battery. If you go with the bigger ones, it's going to be much more than that. That's why I tell you, I got one of these guys on Amazon from Chemo, I think it was, many years ago, and it was around $80, and it brought everything included. So do your own little comparison if you want to. If you don't believe me, do your own comparison. Go on Amazon. You can get some very comparable ones to this guy for a lot less. But if you're a Bauer fanatic, you're going to want to get that guy, I'm sure. And how about if you need an 18-gauge 2-in-1 brad nailer and narrow crown stapler? You can get this guy from Banks for $24, normally $40. Save yourself a few bucks. Or the Earthquake XT 1/2-inch composite ultra torque air impact wrench with twin hammers, 1,500 foot-pound capacity for $130, normally $160. Save yourself $30. And if you need yourself a safe, here you go with the 1.5 1 cubic foot with electronic lock for $100, normally $150, so that's $50 you save. Or another Apache case, the 4800 weatherproof protective case, extra large, comes in 5 colors: green, tan, yellow, black, or orange. That orange is really bright. You're not going to lose that guy because it's bright enough to see anywhere. You can get this cape for 45 bucks, normally 60, that's 25% off. Or if you want yourself a little tool set to carry around with you or something like that, or if you're just starting out, the Pittsburgh tool set case with 130 pieces for only 30 bucks, normally 40, save yourself about 10 bucks there. Nice and convenient to carry around in your vehicle in case you break down somewhere. And how about if you need a PVC rubber hybrid air hose? You need an air hose 3/8 by 50 foot for 20 bucks, normally 30, save yourself 10 bucks. Or a little 2¼ inch, 15-pound capacity suction cup lifter. Now this is not going to be a dent puller, okay? So don't think you're going to do that and pull a dent with this little guy on your vehicle. This is only good for picking up like a pane of glass, a mirror, something like that, so you can put it somewhere, position it where you need to mount it, and not cut yourself. That's all they're good for. 15-pound capacity, I don't think it's going to go that far because it'll start sliding off. So I'd say, keep it lighter than that. But if you need some panes of glass to move around or, mirrors or something, these guys come in handy for that. 98 cents, only a buck, normally 4, so that's 75% off. And some microfiber cleaning towels, 12-inch by 12-inch 12-pack for 4 bucks, normally 6. There you go, save a few bucks on that. And by the way, I just got myself some microfiber cleaning towels that I'm going to tell you about, that I got them on sale from Amazon. And these things are humongous. They are so plush, and they cost just a little bit more than this. I'm going to point those out when I do that deals video. I think it's really a good set of microfiber towels. So keep an eye out for that video. It's going to come out right before this guy. So when I make that video, you're going to want to look at those towels. I have some of these towels from Harbor Freight and some other ones that I've gotten from Walmart. And the ones that I just got from Amazon are twice the thickness, twice the size. Really, really a good set. So keep an eye out for that. And how about if you need a 2-inch chip brush? Here you go, 34 cents, normally 70. Save yourself half price. Or a 20-bin medium portable part storage case. You can get this guy for 6 bucks, normally 10. Save about 4 bucks there. And how about some other stuff here? The 10-inch pneumatic tire with white hub. You can get this guy for 5 bucks, normally 9. Save yourself a few bucks there. Or some magnetic hook set, a 4-pack. You can get it for 3 bucks, normally 5. That's 40% off. Or a 1-inch chip brush. So you got a few different chip brushes you can pick from. 29 cents for each one, normally 59. That's half price. Normally I get these, if you're going to get 1 or 2, that's fine. I normally get a box of them because it comes in handy to have them on hand. When I go through one, I just open the box and pull out another one. Like I said, I like to keep my things stocked up. And how about a 6-inch magnetic parts holder? Used to be freebies, now it's 2 bucks, 188. Normally 4, that's half price. Or the microfiber cleaning towels, the 12 by 12 4-pack for 2 bucks, normally 4. Save yourself some money. But like I said, don't jump into these yet. Wait until you see the ones that I have. These microfiber towels that I got are like a blanket. My daughter was looking at it and she goes, it's almost as thick as her blanket. That's how thick they are. So there you go. Now, how about if you need a sliding compound miter saw? You can get this 12-inch dual bevel one with LED and laser guide from Admiral for 200 bucks, normally 230, so you save yourself 30 bucks. Now let's look at some Hercules stuff. And like I said, people online were complaining that there wasn't anything good from Hercules. Well, it depends what you're looking for. Here you go with the 15-amp, 10-inch compact job site table saw with rack and pinion fence. You can get this guy for 330 bucks, normally 380, so you save yourself 50 bucks. Or the 11-amp, 5-inch deep cut variable speed bandsaw for 140 bucks, normally 180, save yourself 40 bucks. Or how about if you need a portable thickness planer, 15-amp, 12.5 incher, you can get this guy for 350 bucks, normally 400, save yourself 50 bucks. Or the 20-volt brushless cordless 1/2 inch compact 4-mode impact wrench with the friction ring, tool only, for 50 bucks, normally 70. So you save yourself about 20 bucks. But remember, if you're not in the Hercules family, you're going to need to spend another 50, 60, 80 bucks to get yourself the battery, the charger, etc. And how about if you need a 9-amp variable speed surface conditioning tool? You can get this guy for 90 bucks, normally 140, save yourself 50 bucks. Or if you need a 6-inch swivel vise with anvil and pipe jaws, you can get this guy from Doyle with a lifetime warranty for 150 bucks, normally 200, save yourself 50 bucks. And how about if you need a little adjustable shop stool? Here you go from Icon, the professional adjustable shop seat with tool storage. You can get this guy for 80 bucks, normally 115, save yourself 35 bucks. And before you look at this guy, if you're an Icon guy, you're interested in this guy, before you decide to jump on this guy, hold up. I have a video that I'll put out probably next week. And I just got a shop stool that is really impressive. I mean, this guy, you basically have the seat, a little plastic tray down here, and the little strut that you're sitting on, right? Not really the strongest guy. I mean, if you weigh 300 or 400 pounds, if you're a big guy, this may not be the most secure setup for you. I got one that I just got from Vevor, and this thing is a beast. It has a steel frame around it, and it's only around 90 bucks. So you're going to want to see that video if you're interested in a really solid shop stool. And the thing about this one, you'd have to look online to see how high this guy goes. The one that I go, I think goes up to like 32 inches in height. So in other words, you could use it as a seat if you're working at your workbench, and you can lower it down to work like on a vehicle or something like that, because it goes down to like, I don't know, 20 inches or something like that. I forget how low it goes, but it has a big range of travel. And on top of that, like I said, it has a tray at the bottom, two trays. It has two trays at the bottom and a big steel frame. It is massively strong. So keep an eye out for that guy. Instead of 80 bucks, you can get it for a couple of bucks more, and it's much beefier than this guy. So wait for that video. And how about if you need a little creeper? The Pittsburgh 300-pound capacity low-profile creeper comes in 4 colors, blue, black, gray, or green. You can get it for 25 bucks, normally 40. Save yourself about 15 bucks there. And how about if you need a shop light? The Braun 10,000 lumens 4-foot linkable diamond plate LED hanging shop light. You can get this guy for 33 bucks, normally 50. And you can link up to 4 of these lights together. So you save yourself a few bucks there. And how about from Yukon? Here you go, the 60-inch 3-drawer hardwood workbench. You can get this guy for 150 bucks, normally 180. Save yourself 30 bucks. Or the little plastic storage shelves that they have, the 5-tier shelf, 36 by 18 by 72. You can get these guys for 40 bucks, normally 60. Save yourself about 20 bucks there. Or from Central Machinery, the 20-ton H-frame floor shop press. You can get it for 200 bucks, normally 250. Save yourself 50 bucks. Or some latex dipped work gloves. You can get these guys for 138, normally 2 bucks. Save yourself a whopping 50-60 cents. Or if you want to get yourself a Harbor Freight bag, a 55-pound capacity, 19-gallon XXL bag, you can get it for 77 cents, normally $1, so you save yourself 30 cents. Or how about the 5-inch hook and loop universal pattern sanding disc, a 15-pack for 6 bucks, normally 10. Save yourself 40% on that guy. And it comes in a plethora of different sanding grits. Or how about the 31-inch PVC folding sawhorse, 350-pound capacity? You can get this guy for 10 bucks, normally 14. Save yourself about 4 bucks there. Or the 18-inch magnetic tool holders. These guys are really good for 184, normally 5 bucks. Save yourself a few bucks there. 184 is a decent price. 5 is too much. I have a bunch of these guys who are really strong. At 2 bucks, I suggest you get them when they're on sale like this instead of paying 5 bucks. So there you go, guys. That's all the deals that we have going on for the parking lot sale coming up in October at Harbor Freight. Hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye for now.